Would you love to know a fast, super effective way to change your life? Practicing daily gratitude can help rewire your mind so you can positively change your life for the better. Watch here to learn exactly and specifically how to do that. I'd love to share with you something amazing. All my life I've been a fan of little tiny things, small things, simple things that have monumental results. One of them is I'm enough. Saying I'm enough is so simple. Its strength is in its simplicity, its honesty, and its power. But there's another thing that's simple, that's equally powerful, and it is practicing gratitude. When you get what I call an attitude to gratitude, when you learn to be grateful and practice being grateful, it can help you live a healthier, happier, and indeed a longer life. How could that be? Well, whatever you focus on, you get more of. Whatever you focus on, you move towards. What does it look like? Well, I believe, because it's worked for me, that when you're grateful for little things, then every day is an amazing day. When you wake up and go, oh my God, this coffee is sensational. This tea is super yummy. This shower gel is so nice. I probably sound so glib and sickeningly nauseous now, but I don't do it every day. But when I wake up, the first thing I say is, I love my life. I love my life. Here's my little cat sleeping on the bed. She's so cute. I love her. I get really excited about my first cup of tea. Does that sound crazy? I go, I can't wait for my tea. And I go, oh my God, this is sensational. I love the tea. I love this nut pods. But then I have a coffee. I go, oh, I love this coffee. I love this other nut pods milk. I have a shower. I go, I love this shower. I love washing my hair. I love the fact that I've got this super Dyson hairdryer. I can do my whole hair in 5 minutes. I love the fact that this guy from Wide Brims gave me this amazing hat. And so I start my day with what I love. And then it sets me up for the whole day. I always feel grateful. Occasionally my husband annoys me, but I think, well, imagine my life without him. Oh no, that would be much worse. I'm so glad I have him. I'm annoyed that he's made salad and there's food all over the floor, there's tea bags. Imagine if he wasn't here and my house was perfect. Would I be happy? No, I wouldn't be happy. And so I learned to have an attitude to gratitude. I'm so grateful. I'm a bit tired today. I've got people coming for dinner. I could go, oh, no. I go, no. How lucky am I that people want to come to my house and have dinner with me? How lucky am I that I have people in my life? How lucky am I that I've got all these gifts to buy at Christmas? How lucky am I that I have this life? When I got cancer, I thought, wow. How lucky am I got it in my womb? I don't need a womb. I don't need a womb ever again. My child is grown up. I didn't feel like that immediately. Oh, how lovely. But after 3 days, I began to think, wow, this is actually a stroke of luck. It could have been an eye, a leg, could have been a lung. It was a womb, an organ I didn't need. And the minute I thought, wow, well, that's lucky. I don't need that. I felt so that I can bounce back from this. Actually, hysterectomy is easy. It's not really any surgery, it's a tiny incision. I can go home the next day. I can just get on with my life. So even though you might think, I just don't believe that's possible, anything is possible. When you look at what's good about this, what could I be grateful for? When my parents both died within 3 months of each other, I thought, well, that's a shame, but you know what? I'm so lucky. I had them for so long. My dad was 89. My mum was 85. I was sad that they left, but glad that I had them and glad that they lived a long enough life. And so all the time, start to think about, what could I be grateful for? What's good about this? There was a time I lived in London and I lived on the River Thames. There was one bridge going across the River Thames to take my daughter to school, and it was shut for 2 years. It broke and it broke again. And I had to go this really long route. It was super annoying. And one day I was driving and I saw this woman waiting at a bus stop. And I actually stopped and gave her a lift. And she said, you know, I have to take 3 buses to get my kid to school. I'm so lucky. I got my kid into this amazing school. He passed the exam and we're so lucky. Even though we get up at 6 and do 3 buses, I thought, wow, here am I complaining about a 20-minute drive. I've got the heating on. I've got some music on. And I learned to not complain, to be grateful. I had a car, I had gas, I had a job where I didn't have to start work till after the school run. And I began to be lucky. And something that stood me in very good stead was to do this. Could my problem be someone else's fantasy dream come true? Would someone love a husband who leaves his underpants on the floor, who manages to get a tea bag on every single surface in minutes? Would somebody love a husband who leaves his shoes in the middle of the room so I trip over them? Yes, they go, oh, I'll take it. I'd love a husband, any husband. I'll take it. Would someone love a baby that keeps them up all night? A job that's stressful? A commute on the 405 freeway? You bet. They go, I'd love that problem. The way to be grateful is to stop and think, would someone in the world say, your problem is my fantasy dream come true? Would you have loved this problem 20 years ago? Would you have loved to have a house where the plumbing's gone a bit wrong and something's happened because you own a home? People say, oh, welcome to being a homeowner, everything goes wrong. But don't do that, because that's someone else's dream. You're treading on their dreams. It's hell being a homeowner. It's a nightmare having to commute to work. My kids are making me go crazy. Don't tread on someone else's dream that, by the way, was once upon a time your dream. I worked with a rock star who said, oh my God, it's a nightmare. All these fans and women only like me because I've got so much money. I said, but isn't that what you always wanted? Yeah, but I didn't know it was like this. I said, it's like that because you've forgotten to be grateful. You've forgotten to say what's great about this. You know, you don't have to be surrounded by fans. You can go out in disguise. You can go out late at night. Tom Cruise said he saw the whole of Florence late at night in the dark, because he didn't want to be mobbed by people. He said it was amazing. I loved it. I went out at 2 in the morning and did all the tourist things, and it was great. So what is great about it? Who else would love to have your problem? There's a proverb about people in Italy all writing their problem on a piece of paper and hanging it on a tree. And they had to go back to the tree and pick a problem, anyone's. Well, they all picked their own. Actually, I'd like to keep my own problem. I'm used to it. I can handle it. So I've seen so many people say, you know what? I never realized that when my kid is screaming to go, well, this doesn't last forever, and how lucky I am. I got my 7-year-old in my bed when they're 17. I won't know whose bed they're in, so should I just enjoy this for now? I got a really annoying husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, partner, kid, but it comes with the territory. Having an argumentative kid is fantastic. You know why? They don't get bullied, and they're learning to have an opinion. They're practicing on you. When you go, don't you say no, don't you fight back, they become introverted. When you say, well, okay, let's look at that point of view. Where did you get it? Why do you think it? You're allowing them to have an opinion. Even having an argumentative kid is something to be grateful for. Having a kid leave home is something to be grateful for, because there are some people who never get that. So I've seen the most profound changes in people, and in myself, when I learned to say, this is good, this is great, there's something good about this, I'm grateful. Years ago in the Second World War, Buckingham Palace got bombed, and the Queen said, I'm so glad, because I can look the East End in the eye now and say, I know what it's like. When I had cancer, I thought, well, you know what? I can look at people with cancer and say, I've been there. I know what it's like. I really can relate. When I lost a baby that I really wanted, I thought, well, I can say to people, I know what that's like. I couldn't have said that. I know how it feels. I know how sad it is, but I also know how to help other people. And I'm very grateful I have a healthy child. It may sound glib, Pollyanna, even nauseating, but it works. Being grateful, finding gratitude in the smallest things. I woke up and I heard a bird sing. I heard my baby giggling. I heard my husband or wife singing in the shower. I thought, well, this is nice. This is good. I'm in the car going, well, how lovely. I've got the heating on. I've got the radio on. I'm in traffic, but I've always wanted to listen to this audiobook, so let me listen to it now. I have seen profound changes in people just doing a simple thing, practicing gratitude, having an attitude, having a gratitude journal every day, writing down what was good today, what am I grateful for today. I still do that, not every day, but sometimes I go back and look at my gratitude and think, well, that's amazing. I said that and I thought that, and it became real. So develop an attitude to gratitude. Practice gratitude every single day. And if you would love more ways to radically improve key areas of your life and discover new practices, like the power of gratitude, the power of what's good about this, in fact, what's great about it. If you'd like to have the tools to feel worthy, click here to try my I Am Enough 7-day course. One of my friends said, I went on holiday with my wife and my backpack got stolen on day one. You know what was great? I didn't use the phone. I didn't have a computer. I went to Cuba with my husband. His luggage disappeared. He had nothing. He had the shorts and the t-shirt. He turned up and we had the best holiday ever. Every day we went out sightseeing, came home, he swam in the pool, showered in the shower, we went out for dinner. He wore the same stuff. A lot of my stuff was in his case. And I was grateful I learned to live a life without stuff. I didn't have anything. He had nothing. It was actually amazing. It taught me travel with less. You don't need anything. And now I travel really like I can go away for a whole week with just carry-on luggage. And I'm grateful that he lost all his luggage and half of mine, because I learned something amazing. Less is more. Travel light. Don't carry stuff around. It's a wonderful thing. So please sign up for my I Am Enough 7-day course. Knowing you're enough can change your entire life forever. I can't wait to see you there. Check out my next video here.